The early hours of this morning, back at their base in Cyprus, the British jets involved in airstrikes on Yemen.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker. Should Parliament be recalled, sir?
I don't even know we're going to be recalled for.
Last night, the decision already taken by the Prime Minister, the Speaker of the House of Commons, was called in for a briefing.
Will Labour be supporting the government?
So too were senior Labour figures. Keir Starmer joined remotely. On a visit to Greater Manchester today, the Labour leader said the airstrikes were justified because of the actions of the Houthis.
They are putting civilian lives at risk and disrupting that traffic through the Red Sea, traffic that is vital for the world economy. So we support the action that the government has taken. Of course, it's for the government to make a statement about it, but the principle is an important one.
20 years ago, Tony Blair held a vote in Parliament before the Iraq War.
This is the time for this House, not just this government or indeed this Prime Minister, but for this House to give a lead.
He won the vote. Technically, governments don't need to do this, but the Iraq War was so controversial, ministers have come under pressure to do so ever since. A decade later, in 2013, David Cameron wanted British airstrikes on Syria.
So the noes have it,
But the Commons rejected the idea.
The British Parliament, reflecting the views of the British people, does not want to see British military action. I get that, and the government will act accordingly.
Back to today, the Scottish National Party condemned the Houthis but said the Prime Minister should have consulted more widely beforehand.
Parliament should have been recalled. The evidence basis laid out, the legal basis laid out in the House of Commons for MPs to scrutinise, for the issue to be debated, and then of course for a decision to then be taken.
What sort of jam is it?
Strawberry jam.
The Liberal Democrat leader visiting a school in Stockport said he sympathised with the government's desire to act, but
I think it's really important that Parliament, whenever we use our military forces, has a say. I'm not saying we wouldn't support it, but I think it's reasonable. I think the public would expect there to be a provision of information from the government to make that case.
The Prime Minister said his approach was justified.
What we have done here is take limited and necessary action in response to a specific threat in self-defence. And if you look at similar situations in 2015 and 2018, a statement was made to Parliament after the action.
Rishi Sunak will be here on Monday to face questions about what's happened.